Put a little bit of the rub, nigga, I gotta be safe.
Let's get to the sports talk.
He's playing for the Lakers. Started well, but then started moving his shoulder a little bit. And then this is when my heart started to sink for the Lakers. He went back to the tunnel, and I was very concerned. I've never seen that thing before. I don't know what that is. But you know what? All is well in the La La Land because he did come back, and he was dominant. Scored 40 points, had 20 rebounds, had 26 of those 40 from the free throw line. Jalen, what do you think about AD's comeback dominance out of the tunnel?
So the distinction between the Lakers and everybody else has to be their size and their physicality up front.
Yep.
You have LeBron James, who's one of the greatest physical specimens that the league has ever seen. You have Kyle Kuzma, who can get you buckets at 6.
Yeah, like the Lakers got a very tall team. You know, LeBron 6'8", 80, I think 7 foot. Kuzma like 6'5", 6'6". Dwight Howard 7 foot. McGee 7'1". It's like they got a size advantage over everybody. And they got 3 rim protectors. That could help them out too. When somebody get to the paint, they can protect the rim. Like a few games they've been showing it. They could protect the rim. They could put each big man in at a time, and they protect the rim. And you gotta like how Dwight Howard embraces his role. Like he coming in and giving them at least 16 a night, and at least a couple blocks. And a couple of steals. I seen him steal a basketball last night. Like you gotta be happy how Dwight is just coming in and just embracing his role, not worrying about if he's on a start or not. He is accepting it. That's why he's playing well, because he embracing his role. And you just gotta be like, they just a team that's full of big guys. Like everybody tall and long, like. And then you got them rim protectors, man, like you ain't got to worry about too much. Like people got to shoot over them. So it's going to make everybody's shot when they come in the paint difficulty.
9 from the 3 and finishing in the half court and full court. You have Anthony Davis, who a lot of people consider a top 5 talent in the league. But the distinction has to be him dominating.
Yes.
It's one thing for him to be out there. It's another thing for him to be dominating. Because, for example, when you play against the Clippers, they got Paul George. They got Kawhi Leonard. But guess what they're not? 6'11".
No.
Montrezl Harrell get all of the hustle plays. 6'9".
Mm-hmm.
They need him to play big. And my favorite stat of the night for him is actually, after that injury, he came back in the third quarter, 18 for 18 from the free throw line in one quarter.
He was 26 for 27 from the line.
I don't need him settling.
Mm-hmm.
He can shoot, not a knockdown shooter. He can make threes, never be Larry Bird. I need him attacking.
But it's also one of those things where it's like, well, he had 40 points, but he only had 7 field goals. The reason he only had 7 field goals, because they couldn't stop him, they just fouled him. Like, there's a lot of that. I watched the game. It was a lot of just like, I got nothing else to do. I'm just going to put him on the line, and he would sing them both. It was a dominant performance from AD. It's something I look forward to seeing. But his health, man. When I saw that contraption on his shoulder, I was like, oh, this could be another one of those Lakers.
That's the only thing. His health issue. He's a dominant player. That's the only thing the Lakers need to be concerned about. Is his body. Like, he injury prone. You just gotta make sure he sustained 82 games season. That's why they're gonna have low management. That's why some games he might don't play, because they know his injury history. Yes, he's a dominant player, but they are gonna be smart with it and just let him see out a couple of games or a game, because they know he injured prone. He known to get injured. Like his shoulder last night, you had to take a second and see if he gonna come back. In the game, when he went to the locker room, you had to hold your breath because you don't know what's going on with it. That's the only thing about him. Like, he's always gonna be a top player. It just his injury history. That's the only thing the Lakers need to be concerned about.
Seasons. But also, so now you try to at least hope to get Kuzma back. Dwight Howard giving you good minutes. Mm-hmm. JaVale McGee give you good minutes. But then you got to rest Anthony Davis. You can't have them going through the entire season.
No, that ain't gonna work.
Or the entire
we've
week
seen, we
or the month.
We know what happens when Anthony Davis has to carry too much of the load. We've seen that before. Close game in Denver between the Nuggets and the Mavs. I watched a lot of this one too because you know I love the Mavs. It came down to the wire, very close game. Luka, listen, clutch Luka, goes right, finishes left, great play. That puts him up 3. Then what happened next was the Nuggets missed a shot. Luka missed 2 free throws, by the way.
That was surprising.
2 free throws, and Jamal Murray heaved this up. Shot clock runs out, and the Mavs get the win. Jalen, the Mavs are 3-1. I like to overreact as a media guy, but I'm not going to do it here. But can they challenge some of the best in the West consistently?
Consistently, yes.
Okay.
In the regular season, when you have talent, and they do have such. You talked about Luka at 6'7", finishing at the basket. He or Porzingis didn't put up big numbers.
Oh, no.
That's a quality win on the road. And on the other side, a team like the Nuggets, who we anticipate.
Like they beat a top team last night. What a team effort. Everybody was over double-digit points. If you could do that, you could contend for a playoff spot. If they could continue doing that, if they 2 superstars are struggling and other players step up like that again, they can hang in there and get a spot in the playoff at the end of the year. If they continue doing that, it was a big win last night against Denver. And Denver was the number 1 seed last year, and that they is contending with some of the top teams, and Nuggets is one of them. And because it was a team effort.
Is going to be one of those squads that they have to go against. I didn't see Jokic be dominant.
No,
He had a triple-double.
He's feast or famine. He had a triple-double, but he had a Draymond Green triple-double. 10, 10, and 10. Like, he had a triple-double, but I said this about Jokic, I'll say it again.
Draymond Green had a huge triple-double
He
the
does.
other day.
I know. I'm saying this. I'm nothing about Draymond. I'm saying about Jokic. It's feast or famine with him sometimes. Sometimes it's like 30, 17, and 9. And sometimes it's 10, 10, and 10.
And for a young Mavs team, as we talk about all of the top duos in the league, there are only 2 of them that haven't necessarily gotten to their prime.
Yes. I like it when you plagiarize my points.
Philadelphia.
It's one of mine. Yeah.
And the Mavs, right?
Yeah, absolutely. And I would say the Mavs even have more road in front of them than Embiid and Simmons do because of Embiid's injury issues. And one thing I want to point out about this game is we all talk about KP and Luka, but they had contributions from so many players last night.
Jalen Brunson,
Curry, Finney Smith, Hardaway Jr. They had 9 players in double figures. Now, is this sort of like a fluke occurrence for them, or can they rely on this?
that's 2 words. Well coached. See, I always look at certain squads, and when you look out on the floor, are these recognizable players or are they being coached up? Miami gets you that. Look at their box score. The Mavs get you that. Look at their coaches. Rick Carlisle, Eric Spoelstra, 2 of the top in the game.
I like what you're doing here. Rick Carlisle happened to be your coach, but you always bring him up. And I'll say something that I know you always think.
That's why Rick Carlisle and Eric Spoelstra got their job. They coach up their players in case they star players are not playing well, and the other players could step up at any time. That's why the 2 still have their job, because what they could do, they proved they could coach. Both of them. Eric Spoelstra still made it to the playoffs with the Heat without LeBron or Wade or Bosh. Look, Carlisle, he's trying to get back to the playoffs. Now he got Porzingis back with Luka Doncic. They ain't had a good game last night. The other players stepped up because the coaches know what they're doing and they coach up their players right.
Underrated, underappreciated coach in the National Basketball Association. Just because they're not in the playoffs all the time, and just because they don't go deep into the finals, that he doesn't get respected the same way a Pop does, but the longevity and the consistency that he puts out there doesn't get spoken about enough.
Absolutely.
Except by you, really.
What's up? Thank you so much for watching ESPN on YouTube. Don't forget to download the ESPN app, and if you want more premium content, which you do,